So I've had a lot of comments from you guys saying the same type of thing, and I think it's definitely time we finally acknowledge that this season of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon is way too bloody in comparison to season 1. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for the Walking Dead universe, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Daryl Dixon Season 2. We're going to be talking about the state of Season 2 and the current writing of Season 2 of Daryl Dixon, and why I feel, and a lot of other people feel as well too, that Daryl Dixon Season 2 is a little bit too bloody for, our liking. Let's put it that way. Now, obviously, when discussing something like this, it's definitely a tough one because some people enjoy the deaths that we've had this season for Daryl Dixon, and some people don't enjoy the deaths of Daryl Dixon. And then you have somebody like me that actually thinks that certain deaths, I think, have worked, and certain other deaths have not worked. It kind of has that mixture to it. But I'll say this. Daryl Dixon Season 2, I think without a shadow of a doubt, is the bloodiest spin-off season of the Walking Dead franchise. I think it's absolutely bloody as hell. They've killed Sylvie. They've killed Janae. They've killed Lo Zhang. They've killed Isabel. I mean, like, it is insane how many characters they've managed to kill. And honestly, shocked they haven't killed any other ones. You know what I'm saying? They almost killed Ash. I thought they were going to in episode 5. They didn't, but yeah, no, they really have been picking off these characters. These France characters in particular, I mean, there's not many of them to go around still. We got Laurent, we got Falou, we got Caudron, and I'm trying to wrap my head around, like, do we have anybody else that's like an actual prominent France character? I don't think we do. Yeah, no, it's literally down to that. So it goes to show you, Anna, that's right, Anna, that's it though. Yeah, besides that, like, it's, there's not many of them. So, and Anna just reemerged, so I mean, of course I forgot about her there for a second, but, I do like Anna though. I do like her character. I think she's pretty interesting. But yeah, my point being is that, it's a very bloody season, and here is, in my opinion, of course, you can let me know your thoughts down below. In my opinion, these are the characters that I think were right to be killed off. Sylvie, right to kill off. Emile, her boyfriend, good enough. I like it. I like Sylvie's death because, like I said, I think it's a good, shocking kind of surprise, and I think it's a good, intense moment at a random episode. I think it's an unpredictable moment, and I think that's what made it work. Plus, she wasn't a big character anyway, so honestly, I'm good with that. I would say that Madame Genet is a good death. I don't think it's a perfect death, though. I would have picked a different location instead of the old people location and the old people compound. But I think for the most part, they're on the right track with Genet's death. I think that the death is well-deserved, and I think it's well-executed. I just would have had her survive a bit longer, and I would have done it in a different setting. That's the only things I would change about Genet's death. Aside from that, I say go for it. But then you get a few others. Now, these ones right here I have problems with. Isabel is a bad decision. I don't care what anybody says. I just cannot say that anything involving the idea of killing off Isabel in this show is a good idea. She is legitimately the main character of this show besides Daryl. I mean, it's not even close. She literally leads episode 2 practically all by herself. She co-leads episode 5. She has her own plot with Quinn completely. You know what I'm saying? She leads a lot of these episodes, and she's a big character in doing that. And honestly, I'll never understand the idea to kill her off. And it sounds like, from what I heard, and this is just a recent thing I discovered, Clemens Posey wanted to do more, and they told her that they were going to kill her off. So it wasn't even an actor decision. They just thought it was a good idea, you know what I'm saying? Which I'm like, I will never understand that. But yeah, Isabel's death, very disrespectful, very out of just the blue for the character, and not something that I thought they did in a very good way at all. I thought the death was very cheap, very fake-out-ish, and very cringe-worthy in her final dialogue, talking about the fireflies and stuff. I just was not vibing with the death. I was not vibing with the idea of killing her off, and the execution in general. It just didn't work. And then Lo Zhang I thought was good, although I have problems with Lo Zhang's death, because, again, this is a death that, though I think it's right, it just feels like it's like every episode we have to have a new villain, and I think that's the part that makes that feel a little off. I like the location that Lo Zhang dies in. I like the final fight. I do enjoy that element of it, but I also find that his death is very censored. They don't really show anything, which I think is very unfortunate. And you know, like, when I mean show anything, I mean Daryl bashes his head in, which again would have been a cool kill, but all you see is Daryl doing this, you know what I'm saying? Actually show me his head getting bashed in. I know that sounds sick and messed up, but this is The Walking Dead, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking classic Walking Dead era fans. I'm talking like them, like Frank Darabont, Glenn Mazzara fans. If they would have given us a death like that back in those days, we'd have been like, damn, that's not like anything like Walking Dead. Unfortunately, people nowadays are desensitized to just tame gore or no gore at all. And unfortunately, we live in a world now where people are a little too snowflakey to be like, I don't want to see blood and gore. You know, well, what are you doing watching The Walking Dead? I will request blood and gore, and I think they should have easily shown his head getting bashed in that scene, just like Brandon in episode 5 of season 10 of the main series. We saw, like, when Negan bashed his head in, we saw that crap. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a big deal. Lo Zhang is a main villain. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because some people may make the argument, they're like, oh, well, you know, Dan, maybe the reason why they didn't show it is because Lo Zhang is not a, you know, a huge, grand, you know, army threat type of thing. Well, I would beg to differ, because they thought he was important enough for him to take over Janae's group, and Janae was the main villain of the show. So, yes, I would say his death is important enough to show in full detail. And again, those people that have said that they think that Lo Zhang is still alive, I mean, that's the show's problem, because they should have shown him actually getting killed. I believe he's dead. I don't think it's even a debate, but the people that believe that he's alive, I mean, honestly, you know, that's what you get, you know, David Zabel, that's what you get. You should have shown his death full force, you know what I'm saying? And that's the main problem. I don't think we'll ever revisit Lo Zhang again, and thank God, honestly, but I'll say this, like, you know, I really, really don't think that was a well-executed death. I think that the writing was good, but the execution had some elements that were off about it. So, every death this season, I think, worked, except for 2. Isabel, you just shouldn't have done. I don't get that one. Janae, you should have done, but in the finale. I don't get why they did it in episode 4. I get they're trying to be unpredictable. I understand that. But doing it in an old couple that we just met, you know, like, house, where she's just, like, sitting there, and then she gets shot, and then she dies in this old people house, it doesn't feel like a big death for a big villain like that. I mean, Janae goes back to the pilot of the Daryl Dixon show, you know what I'm saying? Like, she goes back, you know what I mean? So, to do it in that kind of way felt a little bit, like, a little off to me. It felt a little, like, cheap, you know what I mean? But the death itself was gory, and the death was good, you know what I'm saying? Same thing with Lo Zhang. I like the death, but I think there's elements of it that could have been done better. And then Isabel's just shouldn't have happened. And then Emil's and Sylvie's and stuff, I think those are perfect. And, of course, that is basically that. But, yeah, it's a bloody friggin' season, man. It really is. It's a bloody season. Unfortunately, it falls under the whole, like, if it's not Daryl and Carol, it doesn't matter trope, which I noticed this season. If it's not Daryl and Carol, they'll basically kill anybody, which I don't know how much I like that about these spinoffs, if I'm being honest. Like, you know, I don't know, it kind of makes it feel like there's no stakes, and it's like there's no whatever. But, I mean, you know, like I said, I don't want Daryl or Carol to get hurt. I'm just saying that I wish they would let someone like Isabel survive, so where it's like, oh, yeah, no, these France characters actually do matter. These France characters do have a purpose, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, they didn't do that, unfortunately. But, yeah, no, season 2, like I said, very bloody season. I think the season does well in a lot of areas, but it does take a few steps too far and does things a little bit too quick. And I think, you know, I would have adjusted a few of these deaths if I was writing it, at least in my opinion. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Do you guys think that this season is too bloody of Daryl Dixon? Post comments down below, guys. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos of The Walking Dead. Sure, follow me at Dan's The Walking Dead Reviews on Instagram, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys very soon for my videos for Daryl Dixon. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys, and peace out.
Born in the dark alleys, city of concrete. Dan's reviews blowing up, never taste defeat. Walking Dead dissected every plot twist beat. World gone mad, TV junkies hit a treat. Typing up scripts, marathon through the night. His opinions hit harder than a street fight scene. Every episode, brain sharper than a knife. He's the beacon of critique, shed a TV light.